So I am truly looking to change how I train, how I do things, because for the longest time since I started this weight loss journey, I focused primarily on hypertrophy. Hypertrophy over everything else. And we had some cardio sprinkled in there, in and out, just to help promote the overall weight loss, the weight loss process, calories in, calories out, creating a true calorie deficit through activity. And yeah, some running, some jogging, some stair stepper, some incline walking, things like that. But I'm going to be making a shift towards a little bit of hybrid training, some more athletic movement, some more plyo focus, a little bit more functionality, things like that. And so I'm getting loosened up here prior to a little workout I have planned at home to show you guys that it's possible to make this change, even in a fairly small space with limited equipment, because the whole goal is approachability, right? I want to make this approachable. I want to make this easy to not only do for myself, but I mean, if I could help anybody watching on here get into it, get started. So in today's workout, big focus is going to be a little bit more on functionality, some actual movement, a little bit of jumping, a little bit of moving around in space, bringing that athleticism into the whole thing, because like I said, as of recent, that has not been anywhere near the focus. We've had a few workouts mixed in there, but this is going to be the true shift over to, a little bit more focused on the actual movement and moving around in space, creating that athleticism, that explosive power in some of our movements. And then, of course, at the core, there's still going to be a level of hypertrophy, because that's where we started, I feel like it'd just be crazy to completely cut that out. That's crazy talk. And why the change? To be completely honest, I'm a little tired of how slow things are moving, and I think if I start to make this transition, we bring in a certain level of cardio inside of the workouts, and hopefully calorie deficit increases a little bit more, we see results a little bit quicker, and I don't have to actually go out and add additional cardio into every single day. If that's where it needs to go, I'm willing to take it there, but I figure I want to be more athletic, and why not shred down even quicker? So let's go, let's get after it. Recording this after the workout, but before I forget, if you are actually a functional trainer, if you are a hybrid athlete, if you're doing any of this, if you're working on functional strength, help a brother out. Let me know where my form sucks, where I could do better in my actual choice of lift or movement, and if I could structure anything better, because like I said, this is a big shift for me. I've never done this side of things, so anywhere where I'm falling short, let me know, and I'll give any advice. I will take any advice that I can and work in it to get better. Let me know. Let's go. All right, let's get this show on the road. The breakdown of this workout is going to be essentially 2 circuits. First circuit is going to be a little bit more focused on that explosivity, the plyo, the movement. And then the second circuit, we're going to kind of bring it back just a little bit. It'll allow us to catch our breath while continuing to push, but it'll be a little bit more focused on functionality and stability. So we're going to go from power, explosivity, to a little bit slow down, really focus on stabilizing and functionality as opposed to an explosivity of the first circuit. All right, move number 1. We're starting out with a dumbbell clean 2 push press, or simply put, dumbbell thrusters. I'm only using 30s here because I've never really done this specific move yet, so this is kind of a filler up for me. This is a filler workout for me to see where I'm standing at, but all these moves I'll show kind of a regression back to something a little more simple, a little bit more approachable, just in case, because not only can you get gassed in the middle of this workout, but if you're looking to start and maybe you're not quite at this level yet, you at least have something that is approachable enough. So breaking this down, wide stance, sumo stance, dumbbells down in front, and then we're essentially doing a quick sumo deadlift up with pop to help push, rack these up, and then small quarter squat down into press. And we want that pop, we want that power. That's the whole goal here. And we're really only going 6 to 8 reps here because we're looking to just quickly pop up, power through. To bring these down a notch, I think you could just break this up into 2 separate moves if you really wanted to. Just kind of doing a sumo squat and then popping up and hitting slight squat into press. All right, let's get after it. Strong, power focus. Push it. Let's go. 6 to 8. Immediately into one of my favorite moves. If you have a small step, small box, that's all you need. If you don't have that, I would even say just some side to side movement would be enough here. Heart rate already up. This is just some cardio plyo mix here. All we're looking to do is get side to side. I call these lateral plyo step ups. Simplified version, a little bit more approachable. Big step onto here, push up, come back down. Boom. You want that power. Power again. Just like that. Bringing it full circle. Really pushing. We're actually gonna add in a jump and just swapping the feet. Boom. Boom. We're looking for 8 to 10 each side, so 16, 20 total. Whew. Heart rate through the roof now. 145. We're getting after it. Very good. Then we're just going to do a slight switch here. You can do this with any elevated surface. Doesn't matter if it's a step. Doesn't matter if you have an ottoman. These are dynamic plyo push-ups. So all I'm looking to do, hit a regular push-up. You can do these on knees as well. All we're looking to do, simply, is just start low, move to a slightly higher. So we're going from here. Perfect example here. Getting a little too tired out on the explosivity, so I can hit 3 or 4 of those, but then I have to make that switch to the walking variation. And you can walk hands up, walk feet, and back to. And we're only looking for 6 to 8 full reps. So each up, down, or down, up is 1. So if you think about 1 here, 1 there, 1 here, 1 there, we're looking 12 to 16. All right. Almost finished up with the first round. Last but not least, kettlebell or dumbbell swings, whatever you have available to you. This one's going to be a little higher up just because we're, again, kind of going to that more cardio focus of the functionality. So we're keeping the heart rate elevated, really getting after it. So we're going to do 14 to 20 reps here. And then right there is circuit number 1 down. I'm going to take a 60 to 120, 1 or 2 minute rest. Grab a quick sip of water. We'll be right back after it. All right, we're getting back after it. Cool. 9.5 minutes in officially. Now we're starting out on our functional strength and stability work. This is a newer move to me, just in practice. I don't typically do a lot of these, hence the true transition. So we're gonna be starting now with seated good mornings, because damn, our good morning's hard for me. And it's just untrained, you know, something I just never touch. So all I'm gonna do is essentially set this up here on the shoulders, hold it for stability, and then the normal lean forward. And I'm hitting 8 to 12 here, kind of inside that normal hypertrophy range. Oh, damn. Whew. Those are big on the posterior chain. get a little bit of hammy, a little bit of glute, hip flexors, and I think technically some lower back as well. Should you only feel it in the lower back? Absolutely not. But it helps strengthen that up. And when I was more overweight, it was a lot worse. I used to have a ton of back problems. So that's one core thing that's really helped me start to fix things up, you know. Okay. Getting into leg lifts here. Hitting primarily lower ab focus, which is still huge for me as I continue to lean down to make sure I'm helping myself out with building up that lower portion of the abs. So hopefully when I do hit lean, we have a good core basis for the abs to really start poking through and looking extra good. Get that aesthetic going. Let's go. Making this move just a touch more accessible is just simply bending the knees here instead of doing straight leg and just kind of bringing down like this, maybe touching heels down and then coming in. Big focus on that lift at the end to kind of get the lower back off the ground just for a second. Just a touch is one of the big things, because that's what creates that actual curl up, and that's where the abs actually get huge activation. That was one of the biggest changes for me throughout this fitness journey, is learning to really curl up in every single ab move. Made a night and day difference for me, the ab stuff. All right, now besides the very first move, I think this is the next move that is the most technical out of all of them. We're moving over to single leg RDLs. Big focus on creating good, solid contact with the ground. Normally I would use a kettlebell, but I've progressed far enough in this that my 15-pounder just is not enough. So 30 pounds is at the absolute higher end for me. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Bear with me if I'm a little shaky. This is a new weight for me. I need to take the shoes off just to really feel planted. Yep, that's healthy. Well, I gotta do 6 to 8 here, just because this is so technical. It is literally insane how much glute activation you get on this. Get some freaking screaming. But essentially, standing like you would if you were going to get into an RDL, and instead shifting over to one side. Big focus on just kind of raising this directly up and down. If you can imagine it was like on a Smith machine or something, and you're just going up and down. Biggest tip I could give for like filling the activation, because you have to make the space for it to travel. All right, let's go. Let's see what I can do here. Making those a touch more accessible. You can always just do a normal RDL with dumbbells. Biggest thing I could tell you is pretend that it's a bar. Don't separate them out too much. Helps me, again, think about that straight up and down. And that idea forces me to think about shifting booty back, creating the space for the weights to travel, and helps me stay locked in with that slight hinge, pushing back and then pushing up and through without bringing the knees forward or anything like that. And I try to be at least partly conscientious with the way that I put some of these together, putting moves in a certain order to give just a touch of rest between legs. Because sure, we could hammer at them, but are we going to be able to really keep the same level of control the entire time? Up for debate. But here I'm going to mix in some bench dips. So if you have a bench, if you're doing this at the gym, I mean, heck yeah. If you have an ottoman, if you have a sturdy chair, anything, you could prop yourself up just a touch. And then legs out here. and then just some dips. Whew. That just gives us a little bit of a breather from hitting legs back to back to back. And since we're here, we're gonna finish it off. This is the end, circuit 2. Last but not least, I call these bench reverse crunches. You can do these on a chair again, whatever. Just you need something slightly raised. I think you can even do it on box or just about anything that's just slightly raised. Whole idea here, let me set dead center so I have some symmetry to grab onto here. Okay, slight sit back just for the sake of balance, and then all we're looking to do is just kind of bring the knees on in. Think about that curling the body in on itself. Oof. It's not just about bringing them here. That's not quite enough. That's mostly hip activation. We want to drive in, curl the body up, scrunch in. Tense the crunch. Here, crunching. Yep. Whew. All right. What are we looking at? 22 minutes with recording. So if I was just focusing on this, go back to back to back, probably drop off about 5 minutes or so, 15-ish minutes per round, and hit this for 3 rounds. So we did circuit 1, took a little bit of a rest. Circuit 2, now we take a little bit of a rest, rinse and repeat 2 more times. We'll probably record 1 more round and then meet you just kind of at the end. So less talking, more action. Take a quick minute or 2 breather and get right back after it. We're already at 184 calories and counting. Let's frickin' get after it. All right. Oh my god. Let me pause this for a second. 39 minutes on the dot right now. Just finished round 2, so much quicker without having to move around the camera, talking points, things like that. 39 minutes. Heart rate's still up 121, and that was after taking a second. And then 327 cals. That is a win in my book. So we got 1 more round. I'll probably skip recording it, but I think we're on track to at least hit 400 calories, and then just a little more than 45 minutes, probably 50-ish minutes. So this is the route that we're going to be hitting. Are we going to get rid of hypertrophy training? No, absolutely not. But to help aid the lean down, to help things get moving, make sure that we're really getting after it, and to just aid in my quest for athleticism, for utility with some level of aesthetics, you know, I think we need to make this change. It is a necessary evil. Honestly, it's pretty good. But quick peek. Sweating like crazy. Oh, pumped to just finish this lean down, man. I'm excited to see what it'll look like when I can, you know, fully get after it. Maybe we turn off the overhead. Focus on this one mainly. See how that looks? So. It's a little too bright. Lighting situation, not ideal. Pouring sweat. I'm like still literally pouring sweat. Alright. Lean down will continue. We'll continue getting after this. We're gonna get rid of all this. We're gonna get rid of all this. We're gonna get lean. We're gonna look good. We're gonna be freaking athletic, powerful, fast. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be awesome. Alright. I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse and an announcement that we're making a shift. So I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll definitely still be hitting hypertrophy, but big focus on all this functional, this power, this quickness, this movability, athleticism, all of it. We're bringing everything together now. Let the lean down continue. The final shred down. Let's go. I'll see you in the next one. Slap it.